Hey everyone, welcome back to Miles with Mickey, the channel where we talk about cars, crypto, business, my favorite 3 things in the world. Look, in this video I want to talk to you about how that thing right there is the worst investment I've ever made in my life, because in order to acquire it, back when I had no money, back when I was broke, I had to sell Bitcoin that I had been hodling since I bought it for $5,000. I had to sell it at $8,800. Eventually that Bitcoin became worth a fortune, and the down payment of this car ended up costing me more than the car itself. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the mentality that went into buying this thing. I want to talk to you how I felt and why it tugged so much at my heartstrings and why I made such a stupid decision to do it. Anyways, let's go for a drive and let's tell you a story. All right, everyone, so look, we're in the McLaren, and I want to turn back the clock to 2019. In 2019, you know, the business that I have been working on for the last 6 years really started to take off. And in 2017, I had made a commitment to myself to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible because I thought it was going to go to the moon. I was going to hodl until death. At the time, I was driving a 911 Turbo that I had gotten some downpipes on and some headers, and the thing was an absolute beast. 10-second car, 0 to 60 like 2.4 seconds. I feel super crappy that I don't have any videos about that car, but it was absolutely amazing. In the same breath, like I love looking at cars, so I go to the collection, and I walk in, and in the showroom is this little green, delicious monster. And I start staring at it, I start checking it out from head to toe, and I start talking to the sales rep, Guillermo, shout out to you, buddy. I start talking to the sales rep about what I have to do to get into this car. Well, the sticker of the car is, or was $297,110. As a matter of fact, I've got the sticker with me right now, so let's do a quick review of that. All right, guys, so here's the sticker. You can see right here, 2019 600 LT Coupe, the pour, all that fun stuff. Right here's all the options, and down here is what I paid for the car, $297,110. When I start chatting with Guillermo at the collection about how I can afford this car, I ask him, Guilla, what do I have to do to get, you know, to buy it? What do I have to put down? What's my financing terms gonna be? Obviously, I couldn't buy the car cash because I didn't have it, but we start doing the paperwork and they run my credit, and it turns out, oh, Mickey, you don't have sufficient car credit. Even though I had the 911 Turbo, it was like at a $140,000 car roughly, because it was a used Turbo, and that wasn't enough to buy a $297,000 car. So Guillermo's like, hey man, look, you got to put down $60,000. Sorry about that, guys. Stupid engine start stop. You got to put down $60,000. So I go to bed that night really thinking about whether or not I should liquidate some assets to put down the $60,000 on the car. And why was I even considering this? Because it blew my mind that I could want something so bad, that something could get me so excited. The idea of driving it, riding it, like I ride this thing. Hold on, like this. Ah! Hold on, let me put it in active. Let's get a little, oh man. Let's get a couple little pop-pops here, as Salamander would say. Anyways, I spent the whole night dreaming about how I would feel driving this car, how happy I would be, how ecstatic I would be to get into it every single day. And those thoughts led me to liquidate some Bitcoin to buy the car. For those of you that don't know, Bitcoin is perhaps the best performing asset over the last 11 years in the history of the world. And more than likely, you know, had I just held on to those Bitcoins, it would outperform everything for the next year, and I would have so much more money. But I made an emotional choice, and I sold $60,000 worth of Bitcoin. At the time, it was like 8 Bitcoin to buy this car. Those 8 Bitcoin eventually at the top of the market a month ago were worth $433,000. As a result, I spent $433,000 on this car as a down payment. Not even do I own this thing outright. It's not even my car, it's owned by the bank. Yet I was a super genius and I sold the best performing asset to buy perhaps the worst performing asset, a McLaren, a depreciating McLaren. But, and this is the big but, I have been like a little kid in the candy store every single time I go to drive this car for the last year and a half, and it's brought countless smiles to my face. And honestly, those smiles are priceless. So if any of you are in a similar position where you can spend, you know, 60, 70, $100,000, even if you have to sell some crypto, know that you're going to lose money, know that it's going to be a terrible investment, but also know that you're going to be so happy, so excited to drive the car every single day, even though it brings you problems, even though it brings you headaches. It could be perhaps for a car guy, you know, getting a car like this could be perhaps like somebody who's addicted to certain narcotics, pulling up and doing a little shot of them. Right? It's like a fat kid who really loves cake, giving him the best slice of cake in the world. Doing this releases every single endorphin. It releases all the happy chemicals in your brain, and it just lightens up your day to get in this car day in and day out. And I hope you guys, if you have a similar position, don't be afraid to sell some of these assets to buy one of these cars, as long as you really are a car aficionado, as long as you love cars, as long as you feel like it will change your life, because having a car like this does change your life. Just look at me making these stupid videos every single day. Anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed the story, and I hope that you have a great day. Take care.